Hey folks, it's Lindsay Host with SPS back in the building over on SPS Road at the Moneyball program year 20. We just had Team Snipes go down to Team Fago. So Team Fago and Team TriStar Trust will be playing for the championship. You never know who will show up at the Moneyball prom, and especially come to SPS Road. I got an outstanding young man doing great work in the community. Aurelius Christian doing his thing. How you doing, man?
All is well. It's electric in here. But I appreciate the time and the opportunity to speak with you.
Yeah, so I have to give a disclaimer because of the world that we live in. Aurelius is a candidate for city council in Lansing. He didn't come over there and say, hey man, can I get an interview? I saw him, I grabbed him, I came and sat him down to be able to give him an opportunity to talk about all the great work he's doing now and what you've been doing. And more importantly, shout out to MPLP, the Michigan Political Leadership Program. We both have been fellows, and that's been a great program that get individuals who are candidates for office, citizen activists like I consider myself to be, and Aurelius is a great example of that. So before we get into how you get your 20,000 steps in a day, talk about what you've been doing over the past few years when we met and how you've been serving this community.
Yes, sir. So being born and raised here in Lansing, I lived on literally every side of town. I'm a graduate of Lansing Eastern High School, so
Quakers
shout out to all the Quakers out there in the building. But for me, I love Lansing. I grew up and classmates and people that I grew up with would always say, Lansing's not this or Lansing's not that. But for me, I always believe that, a city can only be as strong or as great as the people who decide to invest in it. And so many people think, the grass is greener on the other side, but I believe that the grass is greener where you water it. So for the last several years, I've been watering the grass of Lansing, serving in the community, supporting small businesses. Shout out to Des. We supported his headquarter expansion in my day job, and this is exactly
how important was it to invest in a huge program? Because what I understood from Des talking points and the Sean Elliott's of the world, that's probably been one of the most challenged zip codes in the city. So how important was it to be involved in a project like that?
Oh, and from a personal standpoint, it was super important. I actually grew up right down the street on Saginaw between Walnut and Chestnut. So I remember, as a kid walking up to Rite Aid right there.
Yeah, I remember that Rite Aid.
Used to be there. And so for me, it held a special place in my heart to be able to work on that project, and even just to support small business here in the city of Lansing is critical. Small businesses are, as they say, the engine of economy.
Absolutely.
And no more deserving person than somebody like Des Ferguson, who's born and bred here and has poured so much into the community, and even Moneyball Pro-Am, celebrating 20 years.
I know, that's
huge. And so I think it's important that we partner with people like Desmond who are invested and rooted and really want to see Lansing become the fullness of its potential. So that's my heartbeat, and so really being able to do work just like that is what drives me.
That's important. I was happy to see that. So you've done something that many may talk about, may be critical of, but you decided to put your hat in the arena and become a candidate for Lansing City Council. Tell me why you have done that and what you expect to accomplish with that.
Absolutely. And so I firmly believe that real work gets done, when the rubber hits the road and you put yourself in a position to take action. And so for me, I've been able to observe and work with city government and be rooted in the community. And so there were so many issues, from infrastructure issues, but also just having more community pride. And so for me, I believe in Lansing. Like I said, I love Lansing. I'm born and bred here. And so I just want to be able to invest my time, my talents, and my abilities to see Lansing become what I believe that it can be. And I think there's so much more that Lansing can achieve, a place of destiny, a place where people can raise families, people can set up shop as far as businesses and find good employment. So
I like that.
That's what I want to really be able to champion. And really, champion Lansing, if elected, around the state, around the country, and just really.
And I'm sure you're capable of doing that. I'm going to do you like I do the athletes when I sit them down. I ask what their specs are. I know you've been in the gym when you can, if not getting those steps, but I try to say, what will the team get when you go play for them? So if you get the fortunate ability to be elected to the Lansing City Council within the next week. Right, election day is
August 5th, the primary election, and then November 4th will be the general.
So if you get that opportunity in both those cases to be successful, what will they get as you being a team member for the city of Lansing?
Yeah, so somebody who's committed, somebody who cares deeply, someone who's willing to roll up their sleeves and do the work. Like I said, I've been invested in the community for several years.
And for the record, Aurelius has been on the scene. He's not one of these guys, I think it's what we noted, that popped up and say, hey, I got an opportunity. He has been on the scene. That's how we met.
Right.
You being on the scene, doing your thing. So I just want to add that part, but talk a little bit more about what they're going to get.
Yeah. Somebody who's level-headed and really makes decisions with facts and data, and somebody who is willing to
say facts? People still use facts now? That's a good thing. Yeah. That's a good thing.
But I think it's important too because really being able to take into account people's lived experiences and being on the ground level. And like I said, I've been in the ground level and really being able to hear. And so for me, that's what it's about. That's what the council would get if elected, is somebody who's deeply rooted, somebody who's willing to listen first and then lead with action and intentionality to drive the city forward with everyone's best interest.
I love that. With the time we have, how can people get more information about you? Their website you can share?
Absolutely. Yeah, so to learn more about my campaign, Aurelius Christian for Lansing City Council at Large, go ahead and check out my website, Aurelius Christian for Lansing. Election day is coming up quick.
Social media too.
Yes, Aurelius Christian for Lansing City Council at Large. Or Aurelius Christian is my personal. But go vote August 5th, and the general in November on November 4th.
Now, one more thing I do for the athletes, I ask if they want to give any shout-outs, but I don't know if I would ask a statesman that everybody will say, why you didn't say my name? But as we wrap up, anybody you want to give any special acknowledgement to?
Mom, if you're watching, I love you.
Say mom's name.
Victoria.
Yeah, hey, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah. Good. Well, I want to say, it's one thing for people to say what they want to do, but when you see people out here working hard, it's worth giving them a shot. Yeah. And I'm impressed with it. I'm glad you had a chance to come sit down. Okay, I want to wish you the best. Okay, yes, you got a firm handshake too, not no funny handshake. He about his business. With that being said, this is Lansing coming to you live from the Moneyball program. SPS Row in the building. And see you guys next time. Peace.